All right, here we go. Welcome to the live stream. Let me test, make sure everything's good to go, and then we'll get started. My name's Dan. This is Neomustangs, and this is my Fox Body Mustang channel. We usually try to live stream on Sunday nights between 7 and 8 or whatever EST. So if you're just now subscribing or just now joining the channel, welcome. As you can see from the thumbnail and from the car behind me, we just got done painting last night, and I'm like wearing half of it, so it's pretty neat. Kind of like a surprise thing. I didn't really do a like video on it. I know Cousin Paul and Sandy did a bunch of pictures, but this is Cousin Paul and Sandy's car. I had an LX sitting in my stable for a long period of time that I literally had I picked up because it was a shell. And I'll tell you the story more about it a little bit later. But as you can see, it's you've been smurfed. I'm sure she'll jump here in the channel here soon, but Cousin Paul's wife is a big fan of Smurf. And I told her that she's not going to paint it any other color than a Mustang color. And I really wanted her to paint it like if she wanted a blue, I really wanted her to paint it Bimini, because I thought Bimini blue looked really Smurfish. But she ended up going with the Grabber blue, and I'm kind of glad she did. It looks really nice. But what's up, Merle? SJM, Smitty, what's up? 2 Valve. Ah, there she is. So I figured I wasn't going to live stream tonight because it was Easter, because I know you guys are probably hanging out with your families or what's up. But, I decided to live stream because it's probably going to be one of the only moments that I get with Sandy's car and Cousin Paul's car that I donated to them for restoration. So it's going to soon be leaving to go to another garage, and then it's going to jump to another garage where it's going to get picked at for a while, and they're going to start restoring most of it, because Sandy's going to end up. The story is, if you guys have watched my channel, if you've been on my channel a while, you guys have seen the blue and like black door car, basically the one that Cousin Paul and Sandy drive. Just an NA little speed density car. And the car is pretty much kind of in poor shape now at this point. It was in a major accident before they got it, and they fixed it, and we fixed it again and fixed it again. So it was time for another shell. So I just happened to have a shell sitting in one of my lots, and I said, you know what? It's got to be an LX, and I didn't have much to do with this. It had a title, and they took it home and started sanding on it. So, anyways, what's up, Cousin Paul? Wanted pink, but you said no, no pink. What's up, Anthony? What's up, Andrew Hanlon? So, yeah, I mean, you see it behind me. This is brand new, fresh paint. It's going to have to be wet sanded and buffed. But it came out really good. I hope you guys are all had a good Easter. This is what I did for my Easter. I hung out with my kids earlier in the morning. I celebrated it on Saturday. That's why I did a blog picture yesterday, because my kids are with their mom today. So we kind of shared the weekend. It was really neat. It was very, very fair. And I'm sad that I'm not with them now, but I love my kids. But yeah, it was a really busy day yesterday. We painted for about 5 hours. It was a little bit more. We had a gun problem for a while. So if this buffers at all, don't click the X button, because I use the OBS, and sometimes it'll buffer and it'll just come right back. Lynn. Okay, let me see here. You guys see me? Everything's good? Because I got an error that popped up. What's up, Stang Man? Is it good now? We'll just leave the air. We'll just leave the air right where it needs to be then. So, anyways, tips on starting a car. I've been sitting for 5 years. Change the fuel filter. Change the fuel. Use some seafoam. Change plugs. Okay, good. So, anyways, continuing my story. It's actually a really good story. The cars that used to be a 4-cylinder car, I picked it up down at the end of the street by an idiot that used to try to mess with Mustangs. This dude should have had no reason having one. We all know who those guys are. And I literally, this car sat in a lot for 8 or 10 years, covered, until I was ready to use it. So, it was a really good story. Cousin Paul had a little bit of an accident last year. Everybody was fine. But the car that they used, is, you know, it's solid, but it's just bent up and twisted or whatever. So, what is beeping on me? I'm pretty sure it's, yep, it's my power cable. We good? Just making sure that the stream is still good. Okay, good. So anyways, I got the new hat in last week, if you guys didn't notice. What's up, Butcher Speed? Scotty Stewart? What'd you guys do for Easter? All right, so yes, got a few people in chat now. So what I'll actually end up doing is explaining. We did do I have access to a paint booth, and I could have used it, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to get that all scheduled. So what we decided to do is we decided to make our own like little, instead of buying the $800 paint booth that Amazon sells, we decided to make our own with like tarps and fans and stuff, and it worked out really well. I mean, there's some debris that got in the paint. This is probably about the 10th car I've painted, but you know, we used the Harbor Freight guns. Was nothing wrong with them. Had an issue with one gun. I knew right off the bat that there was a problem with it because I always check spray with reducer. You know, you got to check volume and spray with reducer on like a marker board or whatever, right? Just a piece of cardboard is what I use. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When you go and, you know, when you go to buy paint, if you're gonna paint your car, it's all in the prep work. Like Cousin Paul and Sandy put a lot of time and effort into this car, a lot of sanding and stuff. But I can tell you that this car, like, it's all about the prep. And I know I see Brutal just came into the chat. And he can tell you himself, and he said it in some of his other videos. Like, if you want a good paint job, it's all about the prep. You know, using good paint in the prep. And I'm going to be honest with you, that's what made this car. Like, they didn't get, like, car show crazy with it. They, you know, there's a little bit of waves and here dings here and there. The small ones, it's kind of told its test of time. But they needed a good, clean shell that they could transfer all their parts to. So we decided to paint. So I didn't really make a video about it, so you guys won't be seeing a video about it because it's really hard to video and spray at the same time. But maybe I might do a little bit of video about it and show you some pictures of it, because I think Sandy took like 50 pictures. But we just did the garage thing, guys. It's a do-it-yourself channel. And I appreciate you, Brutal. I appreciate that. Dr. Mustang, what's up? Happy Easter to you, brother. So what's up, Pat Turchin? So anyways, yeah, they spent a little bit at a time. If you want to paint your Fox body, just start scuffing. Like, just start scuffing. Take your trim off. Just start scuffing. Don't be afraid to paint it. I've painted cars outside, and they came out just fine, for the most part. Now, if you want a professional job, you pay those guys. You pay those guys the professionalism that they have. You know, the 3,000, the 6,000, the 5,000, the whatever. I'm going to be honest with you. This Grabber blue paint I just painted was the DBC paint. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with DBC, but it's the PPG Deltron 2000. I actually showed it in my live streams before. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. We put about 2 coats, one good coat of sealer. I think we went 2 coats of sealer, tacked everything off. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's the DBC Deltron literally painted like 1 coat. It laid on so blue and so well, I was super surprised. Now, I painted DBC and Deltron before, which is why I told Cousin Paul and Sandy to get that. It's expensive. It's top of the line at our shop, like our shop here in town. And I get a pretty monster discount on paint. Not that I'm sharing that discount, but to give you an idea of what all the paint supplies cost for it, I think Sandy and Paul, I can say is she trying to shush me? It's around $1,000. That's how much they had in just supplies. And then if I wouldn't have got that discount, it was probably $1,500. You know, the Grabber blue is not cheap, but that's even the cheap stuff was expensive. And I'm just like, look, if you guys buy the good paint, because we were going to do the Mako thing. If you guys remember, we were going to vlog the whole Mako thing. Like, I'm super curious on how good their paint really is. When you buy like the good stuff, like when you buy the clear coat, base clear coat, and you have them, I think we would have been in at $1,200 or $1,400, and they would have painted the car, and then they would have base cleared the car, and then they would have wet sand and buffed it. That's according to their website. But I said, look, if you guys buy the good paint and you guys sand it out, we'll just paint it ourselves. Oh, brutal. Are you pulling the C4? Is that what we're doing now? Or are you pulling the T5, I mean? I'm not going to let no cats out of the bag. Y'all got to pay attention to Brutal in this channel. He's got some upcoming changes coming. What's up, Fat Boy Fox? What's up, Butcher Speed? Fox Body Brother, what's up? Brailsford Rides. Good to see y'all. I'm sorry I'm kind of just chatting, you know. I mean, I'm not really paying much attention to chat. Not working on Turbo Kits this week. So the live stream's only going to be about an hour 15 or whatever long. I think the last live stream we did, it was almost 2 hours with the Turbo Kit. But those are coming back. I mean, as soon as I get the car back in here, and I'll be kind of rigging on it, you know what I mean, a little bit. Rigging it back together. So we ready to do some longer live stream. What's up, Adam? So anyways, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like on the way in. This is a live stream. I want to shout out, a little housekeeping shout out to my guys in green, my little club members. We'll be getting our hats soon. I'm going to get rid of the fine print. You guys see the hat? Pretty dope. I think I showed this on my blog, but I'm probably going to get rid of the fine print where it says Fox Body Restoration, and just I'm gonna move the Neomustangs down to where it's kind of even with the lid, so it'll be pretty dope. Brutal throwing the Christmas list at his. Yeah, he's definitely got some cool stuff going on, man. I talk to him quite often, so I mean, often enough to know what he's doing. But that's for him to tell you guys. But if he's pulling a transmission, he's about to get serious on something. But I'll leave that at that. I mean, you guys got to see it coming, though. If you watch Brutal's vlogs, he's you know, he built that axle for a reason. So jealous at the G101A, and I know, right? Did you guys see? If you guys don't know who Andrew Hanlon is, he's here in the chat, the green chat. He is the co-owner, son of the owner, administrator at Hanlon Motorsports. He is also the guy that I've ordered. Those are the guys that I've ordered multiple T56s and T5 parts. So I mean, he's a transmission shop. So if you got any T5, 3650, 3550, Tremec, any sort of needs or wants, Handle Motorsports is your stuff. Anyway, I'm ready for a do-it-yourself paint my car. What's the first step in the process? Get good sandpaper, supplies. Supplies are most of it. You know, Durablocks, sandpaper, primer. I mean, you don't have to we rattle can primered this whole car and sanded it and primered it and sanded it and primered it and sanded it and primered it. Then we washed it and we sealed it. So sealer's like a primer. So when you seal it, it's like a buildable layer under, over top of the primer. And it adheres to the primer really well. And then, it basically seals anything underneath of that paint. So as soon as you start laying that paint, you won't see any bleed through. This car used to be red. So there'll be no way you'll see any red whatsoever ever because of the sealer. Well, because it's good paint too. What's up, Pretender? But anyways, yeah, it's definitely a feat. I mean, when you're painting a car, it's all about supplies and time. It takes a lot of time. What I might do with my black car, since my black car doesn't really have bad paint, it has bad clear. Like my car was in the South for a while before it came to Ohio, and my clear is just, you guys will see it that's going the blue Ford Takeover. My black car is not perfect in any form. It looks good on camera, whatever. But my cars aren't perfect. They're not show cars. They look good. They look nice. And we race them and beat the shit out of them. We have fun. That's the whole point behind it. Fix them, break them, whatever. As long as they look good, I don't know if I could race on a car show paint job. I can't stand by it. Yeah, I get it, more power. What's up, Andrew? Yep, a lot of sandpaper. So it didn't help. It didn't really help us any because the car, well, no, that's a different car. Anyways, sandpaper and time. That's really all of it. What's up, Partly Cloudy? Just start, you could scuff and clear your car. You can scuff and repaint your car. But I mean, literally you can take, I remember, was it acrylic or epoxy? I can't remember. I think it was epoxy is what we use because you don't want to use lacquer because lacquer's not a good primer to use underneath paint. I think it was epoxy. I don't remember. But just the whole case of that, 12 cans, you start sanding down, you start primer and you start sanding and primer, and it's just a garage paint job. But it came out really nice. I mean, it's bling bling. Nice thing about clear coat is I put about 3 or 4 coats of clear, 3 to 4-ish coats of clear on it. So cut a couple layers out of that and it'll be like glass. It'll be nice. You're going to need all the grits of sandpaper, but if you're just scuffing and repainting the same color, 4 to 600, seal it, paint it. You know what I mean? Paint my car. No, man. I gotta fix my own car. I gotta fix the black car. Now, if you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna scuff your car, like I'm probably gonna scuff my black car and reshoot the clear on it and see what it looks like. What's the worst that can happen? I gotta repaint the whole car. So what? I got a lot of little nicks and dings and shit here that I'd like to try to fix, but I'm not gonna get crazy with body work because body work is where the time's at. All the little dings and waves and sometimes it's just paint the damn car. You know what I mean? Sometimes just paint it and be happy with it. You gotta have a show car all the time. I mean, everybody wants this super nice Fox body. How about I'll take a 7 out of 10 on the paint job and a 9 out of 10 on a driveline. Sean Ray, what's up? I was driving Fox body earlier, hit it, and all of a sudden died. Just got it home, and when I turn the key, the dizzy doesn't spin. Hopefully not a big deal. Interesting. What's up, Chris Hot Rod? Ray Benz? White Dragon's in the house. No Fox given. Mile and Dragway is shut down for good here. Sucks. Now I have to drive more than 30 minutes to get to the track. Yeah, I heard about that. Milan was where our home base was for the 3-pedal throwdown. Our stick shift event that we did every year, multiple times a year. I mean, they want to send it to Napier, but that's like another 45 minutes north. I'm going to be honest with you. That's just too far for me. I mean, that's 4.5, 5 hours. That's an overnight thing. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Pat. More power. I just make sure the rear looks great. That is all they're going to see anyway. That's right. No Fox, what's up? Lapeer, yeah. So that's what they're talking about doing. They're talking about moving all that event to Lapeer. What's up, Frank A? So, yeah, this was to continue talking about the car. This was a junkyard save right here. You know, the guy was getting ready to junk it, and I looked at the frame, and I'm like, no, you're not. I think I bought this car for like $500 like 8 or 10 years ago. Had to fight with the guy to get the title, but I ended up, you know, sometimes a little persistence helps a lot. So I ended up getting a title, and now we're going to use it. What track do you go to? Norwalk was shut down last year. I go to Thompson. Thompson's my local track. It's about 35, 40 minutes away from the shop here. Not too bad. One of my best friends, Mustang Mike, who's on the channel, he lives right around the corner from there. So I get to meet him and see him all the time every week. You know, have a few beers after we run. Well, I don't drink beer, but, you know, have a drink or whatever. What's a good, not too expensive brand listen, if you're gonna want to pay, to answer your question, Adam Molina, if you're gonna want to paint your Fox body, if you're painting the same color, you can cheat by just scuffing the jams up and clearing them when it's time. But say, you know, put your money in the paint. The paint is everything. If you have shit paint, it's going to take multiple layers. It's going to run. I didn't get one damn run in this car. And I shot paint, bro. There was 0 F's given. I shot paint. It came on thick, and it came on a lot. Like it just came out the gun just like, here I am. And not one run. So the bumper did just a little bit because it's on the edge of the corner. It was kind of hard to get to that area. So I did get that part. So, but it's very small. I can barely see it. But outside of that, I'm super surprised. I mean, I laid this shit on thick. What's a 3.5 hour ride for me? Yeah. What's up, Jake Hooper? I appreciate it. My 28, 10.5, 15 stiff wall slicks fit, but I have to do some trimming. That's right. Yeah, dude, I used a Harbor Freight gun. No, I used one of my old guns to lay the sealer because it's the only one that had the 2.0 tip. So when you're painting primer with a gun, you got to paint with a 1.8 to 2.0, 2.2 tip, a thick tip, a big tip, so you can because primer's thick. You know, when you're painting base and clear, you want to be like 1.3, 1.4 ish. You want to have a finer tip so it atomizes. So we ended up shooting like 3 different guns. We shot one with sealer. The second one was base. It was kind of I had a lower air, more volume on the base. I mean, dude, that shit came out like butter. It was just like, like my first like quarter panel spray over here. I'm like, holy crap, that's already blue. Like it's blue as blue. Like I don't even need to go back over it. I mean, as soon as it hit that sealer, it was boom, perfect. But yeah, the final clear coat was with the Harbor Freight gun that I knew I had in case of emergencies. And it wasn't a used one. It was a brand new one. I've never used it before. I had to set the volume and set the speed and set the spray pattern and all that other stuff. But I mean, it laid the clear on perfect. I didn't get a lot of haze. I didn't get a lot of fish eyes. I mean, you're going to get paint where you have to wet sand and buff. You know, they don't talk about that. you know, with like paint, you know, professional paint, whatever. I mean, you're going to get not a perfect glass area until you sand it out and buff it, which we have one of the best buffers you can buy. And we just got to get the materials, you know. And a little bit of YouTube videos, and Cousin Paul will be on his way. And you only have to wet sand and buff certain parts of the car. You don't have to do the whole thing. Like under here, unnecessary. On the bumper, pretty much unnecessary. But like you start getting on the tops and on the sides where they can see it the most, the roof and the hood, and, you know, pretty much from mid up, you're going to want to buff. Anyway. I noticed the driver's side of my car is sitting a little low. Maybe your spring shifted or it broke. Now, when you put coil springs in the rear, like when the coil comes up, there's one half of a coil that's missing. So I always point that to the back, because that way it doesn't, if you point it to the front, it'll eventually work its way to the back anyways. So your spring could have shifted. So. Which paint manufacturing did you go with? The paint was a DBC or a Deltron 2000. Very good paint. I think it's made by PPG. It's the best one we could buy over at our paint shop. And like I said, we got a really killer deal on it. So, you know, it was worth every dime. Hey Neo, reckon they will ever come out with a hatchback new quarter panel glass that actually says Mustang? What the F? They make them only with notch trunk. I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I thought they did come out with a quarter window glass that had the Mustang on it. I thought late model sold some stuff like that. So I got some other goodies too to talk about, and then we'll continue talking about the old Smurf car that has no suspension. We got a video coming up this week. We obviously, you guys watched my last week's live stream. We switched the black car back over to turbo, so I got a video coming up with that, and I'm gonna have to take my transmission back out of my Mustang, possibly. We'll be talking about that very soon. The tooling didn't survive from Ford for quarter windows. Andrew Piera. Sorry if I'm messing that up. Check your front height as well. I had coilovers that weren't exact height on the front. That's right. Alex North. Yeah, they need to start making some hatchback rear quarter trim too. You talking about the stuff that goes over top, Alex? Like the ones that they made, the little plastic pieces? Because they did have some stuff like that before where you just sanded it down and you just applied this, it was like a louver, like you know, it glued right to the quarter window. Some of them were in some of the very first ones were gaudy. Ugh. But they got better at it. White Dragon, think the window don't say Mustang because it was cost too much for the licensing for the name. Possible. Mad Max 70. Nope. All hatches getting no Mustang emblem on the quarter window. Tracks. Hello, everyone. Love the color. Appreciate that, Gary Shanks. Grabber blue is the color. Pretty happy with the way it came out. Like I said, it's, you know, one of the main reasons why I wanted to live stream tonight. What's up, George F? Happy Easter for all you guys who have joined the live stream. Do a little housekeeping for you guys who are just new to the channel and live streaming. The guys in green are actually members. Feel free to check out the join membership that I just linked. It supports the channel. And I also have merch in the YouTube store. I will be having my hats for sale soon. I think it's gonna be about $26 shipped. 27, 26, I don't know, I haven't figured it out yet. But I just made an order of about 5 of them because I wanted to see what the new print looks like. And then I'll sell some hats if you guys are interested. But anyways, yeah, we got some new seats in the house the other day. Some Procar Scats. If you guys watched my last video, I dyed the seats and put them in black car, and it actually came out really nice. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my Pro cars and just store them. That way, I mean, they're already paid for and I already forgot about it. So that way, if the seats don't come out right and they start fading again quick, because you know the black might not stand the UV rays very well, then we're going to put the Pro cars on. Mad Max, they do make hatchback trim, but it's not worth it. It's a glue-on deal. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. George F., my car will be home from paint Wednesday. Literally losing my mind without it. Probably worried about it. It'd be all right. Butcher Speed, what are your plans for the Grabber Blue? Wheels, engine, etc. Okay, so we'll go over that real quick. Give me 1 second. Can you do a walk around of the car so we can see it? I don't have my extension cord hooked up today, and if I undo the video in voice, then it will disconnect from OBS. I didn't even think about that. God bless it. My fault. The metal trim that goes around the glass on the hatch, still can't find that place that makes them. I don't think anybody makes them, Alex. Let me see here. All right, so let me see. Where is my... Where's my bag at? Yeah, I don't think I brought my extension cord today. Didn't bring it. I usually have that thing where I can take it off or whatever. Just got on the stream. It's a hell of a blue. Appreciate that, blue collar. It's a 93. Can find the other windows, just not the back ones. So what's the plans for the Grabber Blue Smurf car? I'm not real sure what the name of it is, but whatever. We'll just call it the Smurf car, I guess. We just got it painted. Like I said, it was a garage paint job for some of you guys that are just joining us. We put tarps up, bricked them down, tied everything up, ran a couple big shop fans to feed the air out, shot it with 3 different guns. It was already primered, clean, washed. Shot it with sealer, shot it with DBC Deltron 2000 base coat, Grabber Blue. Shot it with the matching Deltron Omni Plus. It wasn't Omni Plus, it was the Deltron Clear. It was really good. It was really good clear, really thick. For those guys who just joining the channel, this is Cousin Paul and Sandy's car. I donated the shell to them because their shell's in pretty bad shape at this point. You guys have probably seen them in some of my Wednesday race videos, in a handful of them, more than enough. There's a blue car with a black door or whatever. It was kind of like, it was the Smurf car. So we decided that car was not safe anymore because it was just kind of tweaked a little bit. So that car this car is going to get all of that car's parts because that car wasn't rotted at all. It just wasn't in good shape. So we had already converted it to black interior as an 87 or 88. He's got a GT40 style upper lower intake, rockers, stock cam, speed density system. So it makes it a nice system because I can turn around and put my supercharger from my dad's car on it when we go turbo, if we do nitrous or whatever. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm keeping the Vortec from Dad's car when I do take it off, so we could put it on Cousin Paul and Sandy's car, or we could put it on Cousin Fred's car, because both of their cars are speed densities as well. Speed density, man, don't hate on speed density. It works. Anyway, he's got a stock bottom end GT40 head, GT40 intake, cam, rockers, long. No, he's got short tube equal lengths, but we got a long tube setup we might put on it. He's got an AOD car. This is an AOD car. Sandy's a big AOD racer over here at Thompson. She likes to say she is. She takes a lot of good pictures, though. And she tries her best. She does really good at this car. She's pretty dialed in when she drove it. But, yeah. We're going to take all the K-member, fuel lines, brake lines, fuel system, interior wiring, everything. Complete interior, complete engine, all that stuff from that car. And we're going to make that car look like this car, and then I'm going to part it out and cut it up. Well, yeah, it's in pretty bad shape now. But we're going to subframes on this. Cousin Paul's going to do the POR underneath to seal the underneath of the car so it won't rust. They'll have this car a long time. Yeah, she would just, her times were 14.5. I think Cousin Paul went 14.1s in it. Had an AOD in it that somebody had just rebuilt that I got in a parts car about 5 years ago. She's put about 5 years on that AOD and it's still strong. Strong stall. They keep the fluid clean, the filter changed, no problems. Hi Dan, I switched my rear gear to 323. Much better for quarter. Yeah, you're welcome, John. What's up, Mustang Mike 256? What guy's question? You talking about C-Stacker? I haven't got there yet, Mad Max. You better calm down. Jesus. I could scroll up. C-Stacker. It's spendy, but Fox Resto takes an OEM glass and restores it with new rubber. Keeps the Mustang logo. Yeah, I appreciate that. Did Mad Max ask a question? It's a glue on deal. Okay, so what's up, Jeffrey Bengry? Happy Easter, Dan. When you EGR and smog delete your cars, do you leave the harness untouched or do you D-pin cut the EGR wires out of the harness? Oh no, just leave them unplugged. Listen, the EGR will actually throw a code. Smog will not. So, well, when you unplug it, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I'm trying to remember what code that is actually. EGR actually has an eliminator. So if you throw a code, not so much a code, if it throws a check engine light that won't go off, you can plug the eliminator in the EGR. It fools the computer into thinking there's 3 volts in it. So that's my tips for you. Alex North, 100 shot with some 410s will put you in the mid-12s. For sure. And turbo it, just do it when she's not around. Man, Pat, she ain't gonna buy that. Blue collar, do I have to gap my rings if I got turbo or can I leave it? Plan to, I might even split the block. Okay, so I've never actually gapped rings for turbos. Like all my rings are pretty much gapped. Like if you look at the manual, they want you to gap that stuff at like 18 or 20. That's tight. All my rings are gapped at 24, 24. Of course, you don't gap the oil ring, but I've always went 24, 24, 12, 15 pounds of boost. Never had a ring problem for the most part that I know of. But some people gap the crap out of them so the motor can breathe. I get the whole science behind it, but on a stock bottom end build, which I've done a lot of, I won't gap my rings like that. Jeff Bengry, sorry I meant you are getting a tune done anyways, either through quarter horse or right. I got to get my, on other subject, I got to get my hotel scheduled for Ford Takeover. I'm hoping that, hang on, it's my son. So I'm hoping that they're not all taken up at this point. So I wish I would have brought my extension cord. Mine were like 21, 22. This is on my 347. Ooh, probably fun to make some. Well, 347 on 6 or 8 pounds should, probably about 8 pounds should make around 480, 500 on a Mustang dyno. You know, 16, 17 pound or 16, 17 degrees. It depends on the, you know, injector curve's good. So this week I got a video coming out. Oh, I didn't even realize this, but racing season officially opened here in Northeast Ohio, at least for a few tracks. Dragway 42 actually opened up last Saturday. I had no idea. Now you guys know we still got a date with Destiny with Dad's car, because we still got to do the Vortec versus Nitrous on the same video. Remember how we were going to race it last year and we ran out of time, didn't have enough track time? So that video is coming. Plus, we got to take that. Matter of fact, I'll probably do a video with Dad's car on the meth horsepower gain this week, if I get the time. And then I have a free weekend coming up this weekend, and if it's a good Saturday, I might go to Dragway 42 for some test and tune, make a hit on the supercharger and meth, and then make a hit on the nitrous and see which one wins. Yeah, I like Dad's car. We shot Dad's car. I shot Dad's car with paint 10 years ago, and it was the cheap paint, the Omni shit. And I had to paint that car so many times to get that blue, and and this is why you don't buy cheap paint. It even bled through on the hood. But I didn't seal that car either, so naturally it was like one of my first handful of paints. Now I swear by sealer. Even with crap paint, you can get by on a good paint job with some good sealer and good clear coat. So Neo, I was talking about 500 crank, not at the wheels. Woof. 347 on 8 pounds is going to make 500 at the wheels, homeboy. My 475, about what I said. About 16 degrees on 93 pump gas. Butcher Speed. Dad's car is really cool. I appreciate that. Yes, Jeff Bangry, are you going to Wet Sand Smurf? We're not going to do it right now, but we're going to get. There's a lot of things that have to happen between now and it's car running. So I know Sandy and cousin Paul and Sandy are going to be taking. See, she races that other car, so she's got a race addiction like all of us do. Smurf it here in chat. And she, you know, she doesn't want her car down for too long, but this is a major transformation. So we're going to be putting some of this on the channel with cousin Paul. But we got to take, you know, we painted the engine bay. It's amazing. And we got to take that motor out and clean it and repaint it and make everything nice. New. Okay, so we were even. Jeff Bangry, were you ever into carb 302s? Back in the day, I was. My first Mustangs, give you guys a little backstory. I probably owned about 500 Mustangs at this point. It's probably too many. 250, 300. I've owned a lot of Fox bodies. And I still own a lot now. But my first handful of Mustangs, let me tell you what happened. It's probably good for a video because you guys kind of want to know how it happened. I was a big IROC guy. I was a big 1982, 1987, 1988 IROC guy. Loved IROCs. They were big. They were in charge. You know, the whole mullet. Yeah, I didn't have a mullet, but I was an IROC guy. But the crappy thing about Chevy is they didn't come with stick shift. Well, they were rare and they were non-world class. We know how that works. And they came with that crappy 305 tune port injection crap. On top of that, it was like they never had a dual exhaust. They sat too low to the ground to even put one on it for the most part, even custom fit. And they were heavy. They were big. So, you know, actually, Cousin Paul owned my 1982 GT IROC, and whatever it was called then. And long story short, I got tired of that crap. I put a 350 and a 350 turbo trans in my 82, and after I painted it, it was awesome. And I couldn't drive it anywhere because it was a one-wheel peel, because it didn't even have positive rear end, because Chevy didn't come like that. So here comes the Mustangs. So I ended up trading the IROC off for an 82 Mustang, or an 80 Mustang. I sold the IROC to a guy in Jefferson. I take that back. Took my money and I bought a already half redone car. Long story short, with the carbureted question, my first car was an 82 T-top carbureted car that I never should have got rid of, that I don't have any pictures of because I was young and dumb. But the 1980 one that I had was an old school 4-cylinder car that somebody created a 289 hypo engine in it, and it was all carbureted. I swore by carburetors until mid-90s. But IROCs were so terrible that Fox bodies just made sense. They were dual exhaust. Most of them were, at least half or more of them were stick shift. They were limited slip posi rear ends. They were smaller and lighter. It just made sense. I have a white 87 350 IROC. See, there's what I'm talking about. I've always had a heart. If I could do it all over again, I would be a Grand National guy. I like Grand Nationals. I like the Monte Carlo SSG bodies. I like the ground. I like including the Euro window ones. But there was a reason why I switched over to a Fox body. It's because it just made sense. So as soon as I got, I mean, honestly, a 289 rebuilt, freshened up, hypo engine, whatever, 289 heads, whatever, in an old school 1980 LX style I think it was a Gia, I think they were called back then, GLX, yeah, C4 trans, 373 gears. I think we were running like 13 twos. 12.9, no, we never got into the 12s, 13 twos, 13 ones. My IROC, I don't want to tell you how fast that thing went. That was terrible. So, nothing beats the Fox bias, right? What's up, Nathan Tuck? Appreciate that. Yes, the Bubbleback SS Monte Carlo. That's a rare glass. That's a rare glass. But I was always into the G-body Monte Carlo SS's. Always was into those. The Grand Nationals more than that, but the IROCs were my thing, bros. IROCs was my thing. JPP, yep, I was a Camaro guy until a buddy took mine for a ride in his 87 LX50. Something was that's right. I got a similar story to that, JPP. I was, what really got me hooked on Fox bodies was my dead friend now, Mike Collins, which, rest his soul, Mustang Mike. Good friend of mine. I talked about him before in my other streams. You know, matter of fact, he's on my shirt somewhere. Anyway, he took me for a ride in his... I used to laugh at him and say, you know, carburetor's the way to go. And he's just like, you have no idea what you're talking about, do you? And I'm like, this is like 20 years ago. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I'm going to smoke with my IROC. Or not my IROC, but my carbureted GLX at the time. It was whatever. It's a 1980 Mustang. And he took me for a ride in his fuel-injected car. And for NA, that car was moving out. It had GT. He said, oh, this has got Cobra heads and a Cobra and an E-cam. And I was like, what is that, a throttle body? He's like, yeah, that's considered the carburetor, pal, but the computer controls it. I was like, screw computers. Oh, how I didn't know. Yeah, this is live, Darrell. What's going on? White Dragon, doing a fuel pump on a 91 Camaro will make you want to buy a Mustang. And doing a heater core on a Mustang will make you want to buy a truck. Darrell, just finished my SN95 front spindle swap on my 89. Got my 83 coupe. Nice. SN95 spindle's the way to go. 94, 95. Then you don't require a bump steer for the most part. On the paint booth news, sorry for misspelling Damien. That's all right. Jeffrey Bengry, I suggested this video idea a while back. Since race is back, I think over time you will get good views. How to drag race your stick shift Fox body. It'll happen, Jeffrey. It'll happen. I want to do the whole how we go racing, but like how we race. Like when we get ready to race on Wednesdays, it's kind of nice because at our tracks open on Wednesday nights, we get to race like on Wednesday nights and like middle of the week. So it's really kind of a nice getaway from the craziness. Usually by midweek, me, Cousin Paul, Cousin Fred are pretty caught up on what we're doing, and we're kind of working towards, getting ahead for the end of the week because, it all starts over the next week. So it's kind of a nice thing because we'll stop working at noon and we'll prep for racing, which we kind of prep all week, but like changing the tires, changing the fuels, getting the cars loaded. Our cars are street cars. They can simply drive to the track, yes. But if they break, I'm going to trailer them. See what I mean? So I might as well just put them on the trailer and drive to the track. A lot of people make a big deal about that. Like, oh, well, I can drive my car to the track. Well, so can I. And I even have street tires to do that. But if something breaks while I'm there, I'm not going to call a tow truck when I am a tow truck. So I am going to do those videos, Jeff. Chris Hot Rod, my first car was a 69 Camaro RS that I got from my uncle back in 98 and still have it. I've had a bunch of Fox bodies and now own an 87 coupe, an 04 Mach 1. Wish I still had the 87 Black GT. Sounds like you got a pretty good stable though, still going. Appreciate that, JPP. Just show you doing your water box burnout, your staging, launch, and shifting from your GoPro on your feet and another in your car like you regularly do. So yeah, I mean, that would be a good idea. I mean, it should get some pretty good views, but just to give you a quick synapse of what I do, like when you're coming into our water box, when you're racing, and Brutal's doing this right now on Calypso Clone, like you have to set your car up, and a lot of these parts that you buy that are racing parts will work just fine on the street. They got a bad stigma about it. And that's for a whole nother video that I could talk about, but I'll just talk about that with you guys right now. Like I've ran spools in my cars for years. The only thing that sucks about a spool is pushing the car, trying to turn it. When it goes around a corner, you might hear a tire go, up, up, up. Who cares? Anti-roll bars. They get a bad rap that you can't drive them on the street. Actually, they drive better on the street. Because you go around a corner 30, 40 miles an hour, your car doesn't drift. It stays nice and tight, comes around a corner. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is setting your car up for the track is kind of one of the first things you want. You can't jump in the ring with Ali because you think you can box. What movie's that from? So you got to kind of get your car ready for that. Like you can't go to the track with a street tire and just expect to run a 10. Like a lot of people say, well, that's not a street tire. You didn't run a 10. I'm like, I ran a slick in the car because street tires, if I put more power to it, street tires would probably put me into a wall. So anyway. So like stick shift racing in the, the water box, getting the tires hot, your first burnout of the night should be your best burnout of the night. Get some light smoke, being in about a second or two longer. Always burn out in second gear. I always like to burn it out of the box. Some people just like to burn out and then stop with their line lock and then drive up to the line. I like to fold them over, man. Make them hot all the way around, all the way up to the light. I foot pedal a lot, so I don't two-step. I feather my turbo, and everything's hand-eye coordination, so I don't have any boxes or any delay stuff. It takes a lot of practice. But the one thing you need to eliminate if you're going to go out and race, any of y'all going to go out and race, do yourself one favor. Buy 2 wheels for the back, or find 2 wheels for the back. Put some slicks and tubes on them. They are actually safer than your radials. Because if you're going to try to race your car, at least try to hook it. Because if you're going to be spinning on down the track, you're going to hit a wall. JPP, quick cluster question. Oh, let me see. Let me go back. Yeah, I'll do something with it, Jeff. You'll see. George F. Ford Takeover is going to be awesome. I can't wait to get out there. All right. Darrell Washington, I'm liking that color back there. It looks clean. I appreciate that. We just painted that, Darrell, but you probably already figured that. My coworker has a non-roller 351 board 60 over out of an F250. Says it's a good motor, just needs heads. I wouldn't put anything 60 over in my car. Not because there's nothing wrong. 60 over is kind of the max bore that you could put on a 302 351. I think 351 has the same wall clearance. Problem with boring too much on a small block factory block is they get hotter. So they run, the temperatures run a little bit higher. That's why we went 40 over in the 408, and that's where it's going to end. We're not going to try to re-sleeve that or anything. When that block is done, it's over. Brutal is doing it nice, doing it up nice. Yeah, C-Stacker, he is doing it pretty nice. I didn't do a lot of videos of me setting my stuff up, but I got a pretty killer setup in my black and my white car. You guys would be impressed. JPP, quick cluster question. Can the low fluid pod that came with the 87, 80, 89s, lower right, I know, be used in a 140 cluster? Yes, absolutely. As long as it's the same 87, 89. Because all that is, JPP, if you look at the back of your cluster, it just doesn't have, all it does is pin on. And then the little 4-box light, the idiot lights, they screw onto the front. They're all equipped for it. And all you do is pull the info pad, whatever that is, you take it and you just pin it to the back. You can convert all that stuff. All that stuff's interchangeable. C-Stagger, man, Jesse is about to get smoked by Johnny Tran. Wow, you just made me feel better. I just got a spool in my car with 35 spline. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why you can't drive race parts on the street. It's no big deal. People talk about the stigma behind doing it. No, man, it makes them better. I'd be happy with mid-12s after she gets paint. Mid-12s is good. Darrell Washington, Neomustangs, have you watched Wesley Evans' content? Revan Evan? Is that who you're talking about? He lives in the same area, very down to earth. Wesley Evans. Well, let's look him up. Oh, the retail? Retail. Let's see him. What's his channel name? Charles Lynn, do you know anybody that can tune virtual that's real good with Mega Squirt? I do not. Thanks for the schooling. I'll go to Salvage Yard and get a good motor. You just get a, yeah, you can get an Explorer motor. That'd probably be your better bet. At least you get heads and intake with that. Sean Fisher, do you use axle shafts larger than 31 spines that keeps breaking when you are running mini? No. I have 31s in the black car, which ran 750 last year at wheel. And I have 35 spines on the white car. White car is a big dog car. So, I mean, outside of not having a chute, it's got all the good stuff. Minus the Viking shocks that I have to replace and finish and change. So, JPB, gotcha, man. The tape that attached the pod to the rear of the cluster. Yep. Real teal. Okay. I'll check him out. How much power does it take to get into the 10s? That should be re-edited blue collar as how much money does it take to get in the tens. LOL. I'll tell you a simple formula though. Take a stock motor, you take a stock car, bone stock car, and I did this already. If you look inside of my, now don't click away from the damn live stream, but I'll show you. Here we go. This car here was our 60,000 mile LX. Where'd you go? Now that car, why did that happen? Anyways, we took a 60,000 mile car that had no mods and, okay, what happened in my live? We basically put a turbo kit on it, 42-pound injectors, put a tune in it, put some tires on it, ran a 1090. But you guys have probably seen some of them videos. But you want to run 10s, put a turbo kit on it, 12 pounds of boost, put a tire in the back, make 450, 475 horsepower, run a 10. 93 Cobra built 351 with nitrous. Interesting. Yeah. Blue collar, if you don't run a 1090 on 8 pounds on a 347, we're going to need to have a talk. A 347 NA will go 11s. If you, I mean, my 363 naturally aspirated, I fully expected to run mid-10s in that NA. Pushing it. Because I heard you had that car kind of set up. It's still a street car, just had it set up. But honestly, even in just a normal half-built, not when I say half-built, meaning that it doesn't have like a spool and anti-roll bar and all that stuff. You know, cars that aren't set up as much as mine are. Yeah, 347 with a turbo at 8 pounds should run a 1090. So what's 700 wheel? If you can get 700 wheel to the street, if you can put a true 700 to the track with a 130, 135, 60 foot, yeah, you'd be running mid-9s, mid-low 9s, mid-10, 940, 930, 940, 950. It's a crawl once you start getting into the 9s, to be honest with you. You could ask Pat Turchin about that. That's right. It's all about traction. You can make 7,000 horsepower, but if you're spinning, ain't winning, bro. Marcus Jordan, can you drive a turbo car on a long trip? Absolutely. I got to drive them wherever Neomustangs is at in Ohio when you put on. All right, so boosted turbo. Actually, turbo cars are really easy on your motor. If you're not in the boost, it's not doing anything to your motor. You got to think of it like that. Like superchargers, and nitrous is kind of the same thing. If the nitrous ain't on, ain't nothing to worry about. What I don't like about superchargers, you're pretty much at zero vacuum the whole time. AKA, you touch the bottle, bam, the power's right there. That's a good thing and a bad thing. But superchargers also run off of your engine's power, AKA the pulleys. Puts a lot of stress on your motor. Turbo kit only runs off of exhaust fumes. So if you're not in the boost, you can just drive it around town like it's just a normal car. What's up, Paul D. Fox? How we doing? Make sure you guys go check out Paul's channel. I think he just started one up. Actually, you've been doing it for a while, haven't you? You do some fitness stuff too, don't you? Yeah, he's got about, make sure you guys check out his channel. Whoops. He is another Mustang guy, Mustang guru like me. Ray Benz, do you think rear coilovers on a are better or separate springs? Add shocks for street strip. I've been running 19s, 950s, 990s, 10.0s, 10.5s, 10.7s, 11s, 12s on simple QA1 single adjustable shocks with a coil cut out of factory springs for years. Coilovers are good, but unless you have some carnal knowledge on how to set your car up, aka what Brutal's struggling with right now, well, he's not struggling with it, but he's learning it, then I wouldn't do a coilover unless you know what you're doing or have carnal knowledge of it. Now, they're a good shock and a good spring, but you get what I mean. Mike Lewis, love turbos because you're using the exhaust to make power. That's correct. So if you're not pumping the exhaust out, you're driving the car normal as far as I'm concerned. Smitty Bad 5.0, my 347 with on 370 made 578 wheels on 10 pounds. See? That's what I'm talking about. So if you don't make 500 wheel blue collar, we're going to have a talk, bro. Because somebody didn't tune your shit right. You definitely got me thinking about that on 3 kid. That's right. What's up, Tim Webb? So, that's right. Coilovers are a pain in the butt. But the nice thing about, you know, what's good about Fox parts is you beat on it until you get it right. There's a learning curve to some of these parts that you put on. They're just not plug and play like it's Forza. You know, you could put all these parts on your car, and I've seen it happen. You know, people put all this money in the transmission, T56 Magnum, 351 big heads, turbo kit, blah blah blah. You know, and they forget like tires and simple stuff. You know, axles, go out and bust an axle, go out and run a 13, and they're like pissed off because they spent $10,000, $20,000 on their car and it's slow. I took Project Hot Wheels. I took Dad's car who has Project Spare Parts, literally. Ran a 10, well, we ain't run a 10 yet, but Project Hot Wheels, 1090. Saved that car from the junkyard. Blue collar, dude, I'm so stoked. All I'm hoping was 550 crank. I would, listen, if you're going to go 8 pounds, motors, the small block Ford itself, don't even wake up until like 8 or 9, 10 pounds. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Vortex run a little bit different on it. So it's, you know, they like to wake up right around about 6 pounds, according to what I've had my experiences with. The same thing with Pro Chargers. 6, 7 pounds, 8 pounds is when the sweet spot superchargers kind of hit in. But turbos are around 10 or 11. It's got that sound, you know, it's got that G-force feel. How do you feel about the front exhaust on a, you know, I don't hate on it. Some people like it, some people don't. Fat Boy Fox, is there a better kit than on 3? VS Racing makes a kit. I don't like the way it's designed. I would name a couple other companies, but they kind of turned me away. When I didn't ask for anything free, but I was talking about trying to put some different turbo kits on my cars. But I know B&G and Brian's a good dude. Big Dog Fab that does all my stuff up here in Northeast Ohio. He does a lot of custom kits. Pony Down was supposed to have a pretty good kit, but like I said, some of these companies weren't very nice to me when I reached out to them. I got a deal on Z-Drag, springs, strain shocks, anti-roll bar, BM. Nice. Marcus Jordan, a lot of guys think that turbocharged Fox bodies look horrible in the engine bay compared to superchargers. No way. Corey Worthy. Putting axles, spool, C-clip eliminators, wanting 373s. Any reason I should get new gears? I had no whining. Nope. Put your axles and your spool in, C-clip eliminators, and set it all up and be done with it. Especially if it's the Ford gear. Smitty Bad 5.0. Ford gears are found in Explorers, by the way. You can get 373 8.8 gears for like $50 out of a junkyard. People talk shit about On 3, but now that I have a drove one, I love them. My tuner said a lot more, but he didn't want to split the block. On 3s work. They work, but you guys need to check my videos out. Advanced tips and tricks on 3 stuff. I don't hold back. On 3 doesn't sponsor me. They don't give me anything free. I just happen to be the guy who's used a lot of those kits. 351 and 302 based. Fox body stuff. Not LS. I had a YouTube for a while, but only started focusing on the channel for the last 7 months now. I do some powerlifting as well. Thanks for the shout out. I appreciate that. I did see that on there. I didn't know how responsive, because I thought about putting some of my fitness stuff on my Mustang channel, but then I quickly thought about it again. Like, these guys would kill me if I did that. They're like, hey, they don't want to see me bench pressing. They want to see me bench pressing a T56. Tim Webb, I'm on that train in the back rolling some green. Pat Churchin, 450 horsepower on the street with a TH400 is a handful. That's right. You get the 400 wheel. Go put 400 wheel on a Fox body. Go out there and drive it, and you'll have the time of your life. Robert Kress, what's up? How you doing today? Doral Washington, Justin LX still making videos. He did yes. Justin just finished his coupe. I take that back. He's still in the process of almost finishing his coupe, because you remember he swapped over because he wrecked his LX. But he's still making videos about the transition. I mean, I think he's like I am for the most part. I'm not going to make videos every other day, guys. It's probably not going to happen that way. You know, I'll make 2. Race season's about to kick in, so you're going to get some live streaming. You're going to get some quick, I call them the Easter egg videos, even though it's Easter egg videos on Wednesdays, where it's like 2 minutes of just watching a couple dudes race. You know what I mean? Watching me race, cousins Paul and Sandy race, just people that are on the channel here. And then, you know, I mean, he just does it for fun like I do. My YouTube channel is all for fun. All the money that I make on YouTube, as little as it is, the monetization, the ads, the super chats, the merch, all that stuff, just sits in an account, because I'm going to do giveaways, and I'm going to do, you know, I'm going to buy parts eventually and put them on here and whatever. Like, I don't need any of that stuff. But I just do it for fun, is my whole point. Funky50, what's up, brother? All right, man, I appreciate you coming in, Funky. If you guys had a chance, go check out Funky50's. He just hit 1,000 subscribers. Doing a lot of Fox body content. He was doing inner fender weld stuff, I think. Yes. Marcus Jordan, you ever thought about going to On 3 office in Columbus? It's pretty close to you as well. I was thinking about doing a little video when I buy it. Not really. If they invited me down, I'd probably go, but I've never really bothered anybody for any subscription or sponsors or whatever, as far as like reaching out to a company and say, hey, give me some free shit. They'll come to me eventually if they want me. I have the time of my life with my GT40 setup. That's right, Nathan. You keep rocking it. Yep, that's Smurf's car. For you guys just joining us, Grabber Blue this past weekend. It's just the clear coat just finished curing. Anthony Conley, what's up, my man? We'll see you here in a few weeks, huh? What On 3 kit you got in Neo? What you got from Neo for 302? What On 3 kit is you got to? What's that mean, Fat Boy Fox? What time did you start the show tonight? I started at, I don't know, 8. We only got about 5 or 10 minutes left. If that's okay, I'm sorry, guys. We've got to get some sleep. Oh, I appreciate that, Robert Chat. Robert Kretz with the $10 super sticker. You're my dude. Always taking care of me, man. I appreciate you. You'll probably shut down. What's that mean? I'll challenge you to a max out bench press. I hit them weights too. Looking at your frame and the way you lift, that could... Well, we do a lot of bench press, Darrell. A lot. 2 times a week. Even though you're not supposed to, but I've been doing that for years. How far will my stock torque boxes take me? Adjustable upper, lowers. You should reinforce those torque boxes right off the bat. Those torque boxes in all these Fox bodies are literally pinch welded together with like 3 pinch welds. Weld that shit up, bro. Unless you want to drive over your axle. And I'm not talking any crap to you, Corey. I'm just telling you, be safe. I broke an axle in Dad's car last year. I was lucky I was in first gear. CMD Project, what's up? Your tips and on-3 kit saved me time and money when I installed it. I appreciate that. Marcus Jordan, I had an 85 with same color. What, Grabber Blue? I just found out that 93 Cobra intakes need a 6.5-inch middle bolts. Dude, I got a whole pile of them. Total rear wheel totals rear wheel horsepower plus raw bench. On which car though? That's what we got to say. Paul D. Fox. I thought about adding some powerlifting videos initially, but I was told no and separate. Yep. Yeah, that's what I did. What's up, homie? Paul and Sandy's stuff looks badass. It's not bad. You know, like any other paint, you know, it's a garage job. It's a garage job. And you know, we took the time to make sure it was prepped right. We used the right paint and clean. It was clean. It came out clear. It came out shiny. Now all it's got to do is get wet sand and buff. I mean, it's got its little dings and little dents that we didn't spend a trillion hours trying to make flat. We just painted it, man. Just paint it and put it together and drive it. Smurf needs a white Shelby stripes. Oh, no. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Hey, Blue, I'm better. How you doing? Rob, I can't believe you're Mr. Car Guy. Yeah, that's right. His did get flooded. Do you need anything, Rob, for that car? Marcus Jordan, good point. I'm interested in road racing with what mods I should do. Listen, I talked about this in one of my other live streams. Nobody did road racing video. I mean, there's some road racing Fox Body guys, but I don't think there's a channel out there that went big on some road racing stuff. Like, you could do the whole setup. You could do like, all right, I need to, you know, to road race this car, I got to do this. You know, I got to change this suspension. And use some of the same similar parts that we use as drag strip racers, but just do it in a different taste. Blue collar, yeah, okay. So Jarrell, once I get done with the coupe, I'm going to bring it to you. All right. Hey, man, ain't nothing special going on around here. I mean, we're just busy. I mean, there's parts everywhere, dust. It's a shop. It's a busy shop. The car needs 0304 white Terminator front bumper. That's right. I was going to put one on the black car. The 0304's Fox Body. Frank 3 Stangs did it. He's one of his YouTube channels. Ray Benz, I'm going to an electric water pump, and they're a company that makes a thermostat housing without bypass connection on it. I don't know. What's up, Clint Matthews? Hey, Robert Kretz, I'm going to send you one of my hats. You've been supporting the channel for so long. You sent me an email to Neomustangs, right? For the shirt. For those of you guys just joining, the guys in green are my club memberships, so I'm trying to figure out their t-shirt orders and stuff. Trying to get it figured out. A little bit of back order on the good shirts. And I just started getting hats made, so. Robert Kretz has been supporting the channel for so long. He's always doing crazy stuff, you know, with the super chats and the super stickers. So I'm gonna give them a hat, bros. Got to. It's the least I can do, man. Especially when your car got flooded too. So if there's something you need, just let me know. Any more news on EPA? I signed the. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I said this about two or three streams ago when they brought that out. I'm not gonna give any of my opinions on the EPA stuff yet, because honestly, I just think it's just, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. If it don't, it don't. It doesn't matter if I say something about it. So there's nothing I'm gonna say about it. There's not. I mean, there's not much to talk about that hasn't already been talked about. Yeah, Marcus. As soon as you, I'll be going out over with you guys in members chat. That's right. That's what I thought. You need a cow vent, like the black one. I don't give. What do you mean, Marcus? You got emojis. You've been on the channel for a while. My channel, my members, I think all of them get t-shirts. Let me think here. Let me see here. Marcus, you've been you're getting a t-shirt. What are you talking about? You've been a member for a month or so now, right? So, anyways, got about 5 more minutes and then I'm going to bump out. What you guys got? You guys got questions for me? Or we just... That's right. I don't either, Marcus. Neo, any club members do you have? How many club members do I have? 30? Yep, we got about 30 club members. Not bad. I mean, for having 11,300 subscribers, you'd think there would be more, but that's okay. You know, I'm not... The only thing that the membership does is support the channel. That's all it does. And, you know, it's $2 or $5 a month. It's reoccurring, whatever. I mean, this isn't... None of that money gets... You know where that money goes? That money's going to go to a big giveaway at the end of the year. I'm going to be giving some stuff away. And I'm talking some serious shit. You know, and we use the money for the channel too. But I'm giving away some cool shit to my members this year. But we got to get these t-shirts first, and I got some hats we're making. There's all kind of stuff going on. So, I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, the club memberships and you know, supporting the channel, supporting the creator that you enjoy the most. I think other people have the subscriptions as well. And it's just about being part of a community, that's all. When somebody tips you, when somebody feeds you good food at Red Lobster, do you tip them? I'm just saying. Not that I'm a waiter, but you get what I'm saying. I'll stop talking about it. Anyway, I was doing body work on my new glass hood today. Dude, do whatever you want. It's your cash, you deserve it. Nah, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag or nothing like that, but I'm gonna do a nice beefy giveaway at the end of the year for Christmas for one of my club members. Doral, it don't matter. All that matters is that you have us bros here that live by your channel. Yep. It's all about family, which brings me kind of to my point. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Fred, my cousin Paul, and Sandy, who are actually here in chat. You know, those guys are actually my cousins, and I'm actually related to them. And I've been best friends with those guys since we were young, since we could remember. So, shout out to that. It's a family business. 3-man band here. Well, 4. And, you know, try our best to do what we can do. So, oh, you need a cow, Rob. You need the physical, like, sheet metal. So, Andrew, you're talking about, if you're talking about chipping in for that, that's going to be a big deal. That's going to be a real big deal. Because you knew what my ideas were before. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ray Bentz, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the club membership. Thanks for the right-hand man subscription, my dude. Welcome to Green Chat. All right, White Dragon. It's good seeing you, man. It's good seeing you. I know you're wrapping up, but I had an on 370 millimeter with a short stroke 347, and it worked well. 600s. Oof. 600 wheel is a lot of horsepower. A lot of people are like, oh, that's not a big deal. Okay, drive 600 wheel and see how you feel. Driving all the way up the street, can't get your tires right. That's awesome. Oh, that's nice, Robert. If you need the plastic one, I probably got one sitting around here somewhere. You can have it. So anyways, I'm also going to reach out to a few vendors to help too. I think I can get a few on board. So you're talking about doing like a crazy like membership like giveaway, Andrew? Or are you talking about just like a total? We'll have to talk. Some good stuff coming on the channel, boys. It's good stuff coming on in the channel. I don't plan on changing anything that I've done that I haven't done for years. It's going to get a little bit more crazy because I got dad's car, white car, and black car to vlog. So it'll be, you're going to be getting videos and live streams. So the one thing I haven't done yet is I haven't really sunk my teeth into the whole membership thing with getting them t-shirts and getting them hats. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I know a lot of guys that have channels that are doing merch. I think merch is a good thing. But haven't pushed it a lot yet. So it is what it is. But anyways, on health fitness note, I lost 70 pounds. That's awesome, Darrell. I'm trying to get back into the 250. Nice. All right, boys. I am going to finish it there. If you haven't had a chance to check out, go check out Nakia Brutal. Go check out Foxcast. He's got 4 Takeover coming up. Check out some of these younger channels like Paul D. Fox, who's here in the channel. Funky 5.0. You know, Blue Collar Fox got a channel he started. There's a lot of Fox body channels popping up, so make sure you guys take them time to at least check them out when you're on the treadmill or when you're out walking or whatever. So, you know, make sure you go check out some of those channels that I like. And I do appreciate everybody for chiming in tonight. I appreciate the watch time, the analytics. I appreciate the new members. I appreciate all my members. Big shout out to you guys. And I look forward to seeing you guys this week on some videos. Got one I'm prepping now. Hopefully I'll have another one or maybe even 2 this weekend. And of course, we'll probably live stream next week anyways. So without further ado, thank you for everything you guys have done for me, making my dream come true so far. See you soon.